Hello to you out there going live on YouTube. All right. I always enjoy this time of my day. At the end of the day, it's about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I get out of the Atlantic Ocean. At night, I go for a swim in the Atlantic Ocean. And then I put on some clean clothes. And then I go just basketball shorts and a cutoff top. And then I go to Starbucks. I get one last coffee with a banana and a health bar. I unwind. I watch some YouTube. And then I go live on YouTube. And I just collect my thoughts. And I'm sitting here in like an outside eatery area. And that's what I love about Florida. It has outside, uh, spots to sit. And you can stay even like past when the store closes. And I really enjoy, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous right now. I don't know what it is, probably about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, really low humidity. The half moon is out. And I love this just atmosphere, this culture, this climate. And I was visualizing going back to New Jersey because soon I'll probably go, probably in a couple of weeks or so. I think I'll go back up for a week or so just to see my mother. I'll make periodic visits just to go back and see my mother, because I do try to make sure that I'm conscious to spend time with her at times. And I'm thinking, I'm visualizing going back up to New Jersey, and the first thing I'm visualizing is, driving through Washington D.C., going, through all that. I want to throw up, and then finally, I'm thinking about when I get to Jersey and I stay there for a few nights. I'm thinking about the Starbucks, and none of them have outside eatery areas. It's not going to be the winter; it's going to be fall. So it'll be decent weather in the summer. I mean, decent weather in the day, but not hot. It's going to be like 70s. Can't go in the ocean with that type of weather. And it's just a different culture. And so I'm trying to prepare myself mentally for when I go back there. I'm looking forward to seeing my mom, but I am not looking forward to seeing that Washington, D.C. traffic on I-95, which is a disaster pretty much no matter what time you go, unless you go in the middle of the night. And I'm not looking forward to no outside places to eat and sit. And it's not, you can't sit in fall time in New Jersey with a cut off top looking at the moon and going live on YouTube. I'll be freezed in my car. But let me be thankful. Let me be thankful that I'm here now. But I'm sharing with you my thoughts so you get an idea from where I'm at mentally. And overall, I am thankful because I am blessed. And you need to remind yourself that because when you obtain certain goals, you're going to want more. And that's fine. That's good. You should strive. You should have new goals. But you have to remember to catch yourself, especially on bad days. On bad days, you're going to get sucked into this dark mental hole of how horrible life is. You don't even want to live anymore. And is it all worth it? Uh, we'll talk about that a little bit more tonight. But what I want to share with you is you just have to step back a little bit and you have to remember your blessings. And this is part of being thankful. You have to say, if you're not in the hospital, if you have your limbs, um, and if you're not destitute, I mean, if you're out where you want to be, all the different things that you have going on in your life, you have to remember, you really done a lot for what you want. And and you just have to remember in the dark, bad days of life to step back, to be thankful, and if nothing else, just try to be thankful. Because the bad days of life, you will wish you were never born. And it doesn't have to be a bad day like you had a horrible accident. A bad day could simply mean you got a bad email from a coworker. A bad day could mean you dropped your cell phone. Even a small thing like that can make your day so bad that you will wish you were never born. Does that happen to me at times? At times, and not like a morbid way that I wish I was never born, but just in a way where it just life is just a constant cutting of the grass. What do I mean by that? I mean that even when you do good, even when you set goals, even when you're making progress in life, the grass always grows. Like I used to hate cutting grass. That's why I said when I get older, I'm never gonna have a house. Because you could do a great job cutting it, doing everything right, and the next week it's got to get cut again. And like I often like use that parable too a lot of times at work throughout my entire career. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, I can't believe we got to do this and that." I say, "Oh, yeah, but you know what I've learned is you're never going to come into work and they say, all right, that's all the work is done for the rest of your career. Now all you have to do is just show up." You know, It's just the way life is. There's always cutting of the grass. So take the good days when you can take them. Make the most of them. Smile, enjoy it, and seize that moment. And every day, try to do things that you really enjoy to do. Because I often say the seduction of life is to wait for the perfect moment, and the perfect moment is never here. If I waited for the perfect moment to come down to Florida, if I waited till I was 65, I would never be in the ocean every night because I feel it at 38. My bones are weary. At 7, 6 o'clock at night after work, my bones are weary to get into that ocean. I couldn't imagine at 65 I wouldn't be in there. And let me tell you something, I'm in the ocean every day, and I don't see anyone in their 60s in the ocean. If they are, they just have their feet in there, and then they go right back to sitting down. Because it's hard to stand up for long periods of time when you're in your 60s and 70s. And if you don't believe that, you haven't spent a lot of time with the seniors. Definitely ain't nobody in the 60s and 70s surfing. I don't care what you saw on Instagram. Good days. Good days are, obviously, if you have your health, good days are special moments. Good days, make the most of them. And find something good in each day. And the bad days, they're going to suck. No easy answer. Step back, try to be thankful. And they do pass. They do pass. And eventually you heal and things get better. You're going to have more good days than bad days. But it's just like with people. You can, out of 10 people, if 9 of them give you a compliment, but one person says you're an asshole, what do you remember all day? The one person that called you an asshole. So it's like that in life with days. You can have 9 good days, 9 consecutive good days of life that really went well for you. Everything went good. You can have one bad day and you can wish you were never born. One bad day, you may say, I wish I was never born. I fucking hate it down here. Yeah, that's life. Sometimes I feel that. And you got to step back. You got to breathe. You got to be thankful. And you got to keep showing up. And that's how you push forward in life, through the good and the bad days. All right. Now we go to all live comments. Keelan says, "Hey Sam, hello to you, Keelan. I hope you're doing well. Here's an ice watered sip for you. And thy cup overfloweth with ice water." As I spilled a little, but that's okay. Why? Because look, I just got a couple like workout cutoff t-shirts and shorts. That's the other thing I like about the nomad life and living simple. Is that if I spill something on my shirts, I don't get upset. When I had Versace shirts and all like nice shirts and button-down shirts and everything, if one little thing spilled, I would freak out. My good day would turn to a bad day. When you live a simple life, you're wearing just like regular Walmart, $8 shirts. There's no stress because everything is simple. Do I like that? I love that. I love that. I used to hate getting dressed up. Now, I like getting dressed up. I like showing off at a certain point in my life. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's a whole production. It's a production to buy the clothes. It's a production to put them on. Then it's a production to get to the right event so everyone can see you in your nice clothes. And then you have to walk around like a statue because you don't want any crease in your clothes. You don't want to drop any ketchup or anything on your clothes. And the whole time, it's like you're just trying to get through the night without your clothes getting messed up so everybody can see you looking good in your clothes. It's a complete disaster. It's a show. But in life, we go through the season of life. What have I learned? Simple is best for me, and I don't like to be around a lot of people. Terry, hey Sammy, hello to you, Terry. Good to see you. Terry, I get my van in a week. Triple exclamation mark. Will be a full-time boondocker. P.S. Just reread The Secret. Okay, now I haven't read The Secret. I remember Oprah used to pump that book, The Secret. My overall mindset, I don't know, is there is no secrets in life. You know who tells you there's a secret? An overweight woman who also invests in Weight Watchers and tell you can eat all the bread you want. And you know who tells you there's a secret? The person who tells you how to have good mental health and then they commit suicide. The bottom line is there's no secrets in life, okay? The answer is you have to show up every day. You could have good and bad days. You make the most of it. You take small progressive steps, and you take accountability for your actions, and you got to be as thankful as possible. That's it. That's what I learned. And that's not a secret, but people want a secret. Why do people want a secret? Because people don't want to deal with the reality of life. That's my view. Some things are luck, some things are hard work. That's the secret. No easy answer. But love and respect. L12FL, my favorite. Well, now I gotta give my friend Karen is my favorite Space Coast citizen, only because I know Karen longer. And let me not even rate. You should never have favorites. I'm just gonna say, love to L12FL, my fellow Floridian. from the Space Coast, who represents with the astronaut profile picture. She says, "Hey Sam, very cool lizard video today for Connor." Yes, Connor is our viewer in England who likes who likes lizards and who has a pet lizard. Maybe you will catch some fall foliage changing colors on your trip up north to your mom's. That would be nice. That would make me want to throw up, but I probably will. And I know some people will like to see that. But is it nice? It's not nice for me. I'm going to throw up every moment I'm going up north, and I see that, and that temperature drops down on my gauge, and I see that foliage. I don't like to see that. That's what foliage is. Leaves turning colors. It's trees dying. That's what that is. You know, when you see the leaves color, it's basically like their blood's getting sucked out of them. They're turning purple and they're dying. That's what happens in the winter. When up north, stuff dies. That's why I don't have lizards up there, because nothing can survive up there. I don't know how I survived 2 winters in my car. Almost died. Now, what I can tell you is I will love to see my mother, and I will try to take some videos of the foliage. But I will also enjoy coming back down south and watching that temperature gauge go from, well, it's only the fall, so it's not going to be that cold, but it's going to be cold for me. Watching that temperature gauge increase as I go back down south and back to having outside eateries, because I don't like to go up there in Starbucks in up north. There's no Starbucks like with outside eateries up north, not all year round. It's a disaster. But let's stay positive. Let's have a good day. Let's say, look, Sam, you're at where you're at right now. Let's not rush past today. Let's be thankful. Daddy Geek. Hey everyone, good to see you. Perfect topic, Sammy. Woo! Yes, I mean, you can make this topic every day for the rest of your life, because this is a life lesson. There's no secret. The truth is, you're going to have good and bad days. And I do believe overall, hopefully you have more good than bad, but the bad days are going to be really tough mentally. Life is huge part of life is mental. And that's why I preach self-care, mind, body, and soul. I think you need all three of them for a fighting shot in this world. Because I'm telling you right now, you could have a bad day and you're going to wish you were never born. And you're going to curse this world. Now, you should never love this world. But you just got to take a step back, keep pushing forward. Daddy Geek gave a lot of cheeses, laughs. I don't know what I said, but thank you. And then thumbs up. Blanton, what's up? Great message. Needed that. No problem. Keep pushing forward, my friend. Blanton, love and respect. Terry, your philosophies are similar to The Secret. You should check it out. I will. I'm gonna have to go on Oprah's show. Oprah don't have a show anymore. I'm gonna show some love. I love Oprah. I love it, but you know sometimes she gets on my nerves. I love her though. Tom, enjoyed that lizard video earlier. No problem. As well as the good and bad days video. Thank you. This is like an extension of that. Thank you, brother. Makes you appreciate the good in life much more. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, like I say, during the course of your week, during the course of the years you live on this earth, it's a tennis match, a mental tennis match. You know, a tennis match is you hit a ball over like a waist-high net, and you hit it to one person, and they hit it back to you. And it's like, you know, who could keep hitting it back to the person that, and then finally win. And that's how it is in the mind. You know, good thought, bad thought, good thought, bad thought, good day, bad day. And you have to keep hitting that ball back, because if you don't hit that ball back, guess what happens? Yeah, and then you're reading The Secret. Watch it be going live on YouTube. Now, is that a bad thing? No, because Terry said there's some good stuff in there, but I'm not going to co-sign The Secret. I can't. Not yet. I got to read it, and a little suspect. But if you can get anything positive out of that or anything else, I'm not mad at it. I'm all about positivity, but with a level of realism. I got love for everyone. L12FL. Love right back at you. Along the lines of tonight's theme, I go with don't sweat the small stuff. Got a lot of negativity roll off your shoulders. Yeah, that's true. And I have really appreciated the statement of, you know, grow thick skin, let some stuff roll off you. That's so true. But I've also really learned the practice of keep your circle small. And as an adult, if you don't vibe with somebody, don't hurt them, but you just have to eliminate them. Because again, you need all things firing, all things on the right level for you to be in a good place. And I'm telling you right now, one comment, one email, one phone call, one text from the wrong person saying the wrong thing can totally destroy your day. And you definitely, now you're gonna have to deal with that in the real world. Can't get around that. Doesn't matter if you work with Starbucks or if you work in the corporate world. Doesn't matter. You got to deal with it. But what I've learned is, after dealing with that, you don't want to deal with that in your inner circle. And that's why I cut off my father. And that's what I would say to any parent. Any parent out there, once you have an adult child, you better watch what you say to them. Because guess what? As an adult, they don't have to keep you in their life. Now, it is what it is. And that's what I would say to anyone. Look, you better be very careful on what you say to somebody if you really want them in your life. And it doesn't even have to be something crazy. Your tone, your reaction, everything. Because I'm telling you right now, one conversation can somebody and like a person like me, if I have a wrong conversation with somebody in my personal life, not professional, if I have a wrong, I'll totally, that's it. That's how I am, and I'm being very honest. There's no, and I forgive that person, and I'm not saying I'm right and they're wrong, and I'm not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is, I know me at this point in my life. If I have a conversation with somebody, whether it's a virtual conversation on social media or whether it's a real life conversation, and it goes sour, that person will probably get totally cut out of my life, and I will give them no explanation, and I will never look back. And that's just the way it is. And you're gonna, so I know I'm a little bit rare, but I'm sharing with you guys that. Tom Hanks, how hot and humid does it get down there this time of year? Pretty hot. I mean, usually 90s. It's been pretty much, it gets up to 90s pretty much every day here where I'm at. And humid, it's usually 70%, 80%, something like that on average. And but it feels great. Like I like, in the height of the afternoon from noon to 3 p.m., that's the hottest. You know, it's hot. I like it hot. It was hot some days in the summer up north, but it's consistently hot down here. But the ocean is Mother Nature's air conditioner. And there's plenty of like places to go. I mean, you can go and sit in Starbucks. It's freezing in Starbucks. I go in there, I got to wear my hoodie. But I'm outside because they got the outside eatery at night. Magical. But most people are either working during the day or you can go indoors. You can go to shops. You can go to malls. And then at night, it's cool. It's perfect. It's beautiful right now. Gorgeous. Like you should see. Like you could walk around naked. You wouldn't be hot. You wouldn't be cold. You just feel like, you're just chilling. That's how I like it. Why? Because I go commando. Why? Because it's better style of living. You're more comfortable. You're more free flowing. Up north, you can't go commando. I mean, it's crazy up north. So for me, how do I increase my good days? By being in the climate and being in the environment and culture I like. And that's important to me. That's why I made major life decisions. Small in a series of decisions, but major life decisions to sell a house that I owned for 15 years at a very low interest rate, 3.75. I probably would have made more money if I just kept my house, did that. I mean, that's just the way it is. In a great area, in a great public school system, which means it only went up, a great job market. Even if I would have lost my job up north or lose my job, I lived in an area where I could go get a job tomorrow again if I lost my job. I mean, the central North Jersey job market, and it's great. And so you pay for it with traffic. You pay for it with, not all year round nice climate for me. Some people like the four seasons. You pay for it in different ways. But what I'm trying to say is I made a major sacrifice. And I know, throwing out all my stuff and living this non-conforming life, very risky at times. But I did it because I knew for me, there's something inside me pushing me to Florida, something inside me calling me to live the simple life. And I'm glad I did. I do not regret it. Every day I go in the ocean, every day I live this life, I see people who are too old to enjoy it. And I don't say that to be hurtful, but I say that to, you have to live your life. And you have to go after what's in your spirit. It's just so true. Back to the live comments. Dolores, hey, love and respect to New Hampshire. Dolores is in the house. Hey, Dolores. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? It's true. Negative people can drain you. Oh, totally true. Definitely. A negative person, and doesn't even have to be super negative, but believe me, there's some super negative people out there. It could just be one negative comment. Totally ruin your day, may ruin your week, may ruin your month. You may be thinking about something someone said 2 weeks ago. Why? Because the negativity can cause such a bad day, such a bad experience that mentally you can't hit that tennis ball back in the other court. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to be very careful. You got to take care of yourself well. Connor, hey bro, Connor, what's going on? Data Geek. Amen, Kevin. They can drain you fast if you don't block it. That's right. I have learned to tell negative coworkers that my office is a magical, positive place. Good job. So they must leave so they can return. I like that. When they find their positive vibes. I like that. That's a good job, Data Geek. Good job. Connor, I very rarely go commando. but I wouldn't go commando in joggers or something like that. Well, I'm not mad at you. Look, to each their own. Everyone should make thy own decision. Kevin, aha, I like that, data geek. You have to protect your energy. Yes, great point. Wasted energy will equivalent wasted dreams. You want to know why you don't fulfill your dreams? Wasted energy. Wasted energy on the wrong relationships. Wasted energy on the wrong political argument on social media. Wasted energy on trying to convince somebody that you're a good person. Wasted energy on thinking about the person who cut you off on the highway. Wasted energy about keeping people in your life that are draining you. Wasted energy will be the reason why you waste certain dreams. Don't waste your life. Be very conscious of where your energy goes because you only have so much. At the end of the day, like I make a mental note when I'm walking to the beach. I said, man, it's 6, 7 o'clock at night and my energy levels are down because I've exerted so much energy working, waking up early, working out, doing the different things I need to do that I have to do for my responsibilities to maintain my life. And I always think of my energy like the cell phone battery symbol that's on your phone that shows you how much battery charge you have left. You can take great care of that battery, you can charge it up constantly, but it goes down. And so every time you do something physically, you exert energy, your battery levels go down. Every time you deal with a negative person, your battery levels go way down. And so you have to really learn to be efficient with your energy and to use that energy to push you closer to your dreams, not to try to justify your dreams to others. That's key. Listen to this now. You have to use your energy to push you closer to your dreams, not use that energy to justify your dreams to someone else. There's a big difference there, guys. If you get that one, it may change your life. L12FO, nice data geek. I only hang out with positive people. I ain't mad at that. I don't like to hang out with any people. As soon as I recognize a pessimist, I avoid them. I block them and I avoid them too. Terry, I keep telling my grandkids to do it while you can. That's wisdom. Good job, Terry. My grandson is traveling out. Amen. Now, I try to preach balance. There's no one answer for everyone. We're all unique. We all have our own fingerprint. That's what makes us different. But what I will say is I think I've learned that, especially middle age now, that you do have to really be conscious of doing things when you have the opportunity, doing things when you have the physical capacity with a level of responsibility, right? I mean, I don't preach like just go out there, quit your job, do exactly what you want, because you have to do certain things in life that you don't want to do at a certain point. But you also have to be conscious of your time, your energy, your ability is always in this world deteriorating. Every minute you're alive, you get closer to death. Every day you wake up, you get older, you get closer to death. Time is your most precious resource, and you lose it every day. If time is currency, if time is money, every day you have to give up money, you have to spend it, and there's no income. They say like you can always make more money or you can get more money. You can, but you can never get more time. There's no way. I don't care who you know. What you do, it doesn't matter. Time is a currency that you get no income. It's only expense. It's only you pay it. So just be conscious of that. Good job, Terry. Data geek. Me too. Liz, so at work, I protect my space. Good job. Connor. And I'll tell you too, working virtually, it's not just physical space, it's mental space. Because working virtually, one good thing is I don't have to deal with people in the office, but I have to deal with conversations. I have to deal with emails. And what I'm telling you, especially in technology era, but any era, it's you read an email that's nasty or that's puts attacking tone, CCing too many people, or whatever. That can hurt you. I try to always put hello in my email. I try not to just say the person's name. Now, if it goes a little bit wild, then I'll just put the person's name. I try to always put thank you at the end. I try to put an emoji smile. I try to set a tone. Now, certain times, look, you have to be a little bit firm because people just go wild. But I try to make a conscious of that. A lot of people don't. And sometimes, like, I get a little bit of negativity, and I say, oh, I can't believe it. But, usually those people have a track record, and it's shown. But Be conscious of that. Um, because your space is not just your physical space, it's your mental space. And your mental space is going to determine if you have a good or bad day in many cases. In many cases, a bad day is not going to be something that physically happens to you. It's going to be words that are said, not even verbally, but sometimes through an electronic message. And those words can be so harmful to your mind that it can cause you to have a bad day. You gotta be very careful. Um, Connor, do you ever sleep in? Not past 7 a.m. That's usually my max, and that's usually on a Saturday. Sometimes I'll sleep till 7 a.m. That's the max at this point in my life. And what is sleeping into you, 7 a.m.? Usually I try to wake up by 5, sometimes 6 a.m. Really, the only time I'll sleep in late is 7 a.m., and that's usually on a Saturday. And I just don't enjoy it. Sleeping past 7 a.m. would actually make my day bad. When I was younger, I used to enjoy sleeping in, but there was also reasons why I was in an unhealthy space overall. Um, it takes a discipline to wake up early, but you're always happy you did. I've never woken up early and started my day early and then long term regretted it. Short term, it's a little bit pain. But to me, if you have to sleep past 7 a.m., unless you work the night shift, if you have to sleep past 7 a.m., you're just not going to live a good day. Because then you're going to be up late. And then when you're up late, oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's just a vicious cycle. But that's just me at this season of my life. I've been in different seasons. I'm not saying this fits everyone, but this on average, this is what I learned. Ralph, what's up, Ralph? Don't justify your dreams. Thumbs up. That's right. Never justify your dreams. Good job, Ralph. Yep, totally agree. Tom Hanks. Every day is another war, Sam. That's right. And that's why we have to be very conscious to take life one day at a time. Throughout the day, what I say to myself, Sam, just take life one day at a time. Because the minute you don't take life one day at a time, you don't enjoy each day. And when you don't enjoy each day, that's how you wake up very old and you say, my whole life passed me by and I never enjoyed each day. And that's how you get too anxious of the future. And you can have a lot of money right now, you can be healthy, you can be everything, but you're worrying about tomorrow. You're not enjoying each day. Or you can going through some bad times and you're going to wait till everything gets better, and then you've just wasted 10 years of your life. For 10 years I was in debt. For 10 years I was drowning in things. I mean, you just have to be conscious that you got to take life one day at a time. And that's a daily discipline to remind yourself mentally to hit that tennis ball back into the positive court, okay? Because that tennis ball gets hit to the negative court, okay? And sometimes this Venus Williams serving you that negativity, okay? That hard. So you got to be very conscious to hit that ball back into the positive zone. Now you need this is why I give Trump a little bit credit. I remember he gave an interview one time, and he said somebody had asked him, and I'm talking about President Trump. Somebody asked him one time. He goes, "Do you think what do you think about negativity? Do you think you should always be positive?" And he goes, "Well, I definitely think you want more positive than negative. But once in a while, I think it's good to have a little bit of negativity to push you, to get you going where you need to go." I think there's something to be said for that. I really do. I want to acknowledge that. Because I don't agree of the Joel Osteen method. That's him. Everyone's different. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to either person. Like, I can't walk around like 100% positive. You need a little bit of you know what I mean? But not in your inner circle and not in an unhealthy way. But you have to be conscious to keep your mind in a positive zone. Woohoo! The government makes millions off one human in taxes. The government wants us to live longer to make more money off us. Well, I don't know if the government really cares to that extent. The government has good and bad to it in all countries. And you got to remember, government, just like a corporation, it's all run by people. Who's it run by? Usually people that are willing to deal with aggravation. Who are HOA, homeowners associations, run by? The old retired senior that used to be a lawyer, and they want to make sure that their neighborhood stays a certain way, and they want to rule it. Okay? So who gets involved in the government? People who want to rule, people who are willing to deal with aggravation. They want to rule over people. And not all are bad, but it's just people who run government. It's regular citizens. But I don't think government is necessarily evil or good, just like corporations are evil or good. But what happens is all the good people, what really good, decent person wants to get involved with the government? Not really many. I mean, I know some good friends that work for like DMV, different things like that, couple. But nobody really wants to work in politics. Not a decent person. Just like no one wants to really work on their homeowners association boards. Too much aggravation. Who really wants to be a corporate leader, travel nonstop, and have all those headaches? I mean, some do, but there's a price, and you just have to be mindful that focus on what you can control. Okay, the seduction in life is to focus on conspiracy theories, governments, corporations. Now, all those things you have to be mindful of because I do think there's a lot of evil out there. But overall, you have to step back. Just like a bad day, you have to step back from it. You have to evaluate it. Overall, things are still pretty good. Okay, if you look at society now versus 100 years ago, things are in good shape, and you have a lot more opportunity than there was before. And things are better if you look at the context of society as far as since the beginning of documented time. Things are better than they've ever been. There's more opportunity, especially with the internet. We're more connected. We have more information. It's easily available. You can Google how to have a baby in your house, and you can basically learn it on YouTube. So there's a lot of good, okay? And so this is what I'm trying to tell you in life. If you don't step back and you don't look at the good, even though it's 90% good, you will let the 10% make your whole life a bad day. And so I'm not discounting the 10%. I'm a realistic person, and I address there's 10% out there. And there's some evil, crooked stuff out there. But you just have to keep a healthy mind. Data Geek, I feel like I am raising my family, and it weighed heavy on me today because I am the only one working, but still positive, but would love to get my inner self to a place where I can do me. Now, you say you feel like you're raising your family. Now, do you have children, and what do you mean by that? Data Geek, L12FO. That was a good one. Would you please repeat the quote about not justifying your dreams to others? Oh, thank you. I don't remember why I said that. Sometimes it's hard to remember what I say because I'm just like flowing from the spirit. But I believe I said, spend your energy your energy has to be focused on the important things, not wasted. Wasted energy equals wasted dreams. So your energy has to be taken to focus on your dreams and to push you and to take the steps you can take based on what you can control. Spend that energy on your dreams. Don't spend that energy on justifying your dreams to other people, to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers, to what. Don't, because that's wasted energy. Now, all that energy, all that strength that you had trying to justify yourself, wasted, you could have spent taking daily steps, getting you closer to your dream. How do you think I got to Florida? How do you think I did different things in my life? I took that energy and I worked on myself. How do you think I lost 200 pounds? I took that energy and I walked every night. I didn't call up Oprah and say, tell me about Weight Watchers. Fuck Oprah. Now, I love Oprah, but you know what I'm saying. I just went out there and walked. All right, I got a little, let's try to stay positive. Data Geek, downsizing and moving forward while maintaining a positive me. Good, that's what I like to hear. True colors. Good evening, brother. Good evening to you. As a man thinks in his heart, so he shall be. That's a scripture. If you think being around a negative person is the worst thing since sliced bread, you then turn a mole into a mountain. So that even small negativity will feel like a great insult. I hear you. All I can say is for me, this is my scripture, okay? Because again, remember, everyone who wrote the Bible was just inspired by God, and it was just it was put together by men. It was written by men, no women. And you can be inspired by God. Jesus said you are called to do the same and greater things than him. So don't discount your own quotes. That's what I tell people, okay? If you really read the scriptures, that's what the scriptures tell you. They don't tell you to just worship them and never do anything yourself. But religion tells you different because religion wants to control you and then give you 10%. Okay, it's the whole big scheme. And then your pastor takes that with the side piece to White Castle, and then you're left holding a bucket. Total disaster. All right, what I could tell you, stay positive, Sam. What I could tell you is that if you as an adult don't like someone, and if you're not hurting them, cut them off and give them no explanation, okay? That's what I say, do what you want. Elizabeth, hey, hand wave emoji, hello. Hello, Sam. Here in Florida, loving the heat. I love my Floridians. Love and respect. I am tired too. Laugh out loud. Yeah, me too. I'm getting very tired. Good night. Yeah, and she gave me the half moon emoji. Thank you, because there is a half moon tonight. Magical. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, I can see the stars very well at my campground. My campground stay is up tonight. I'm going to do a video on that. I usually stay at campgrounds from Sunday to Thursday night. And then on Friday night, and tomorrow I'll start some free camping, and then I'll probably repeat. I'll probably hit another campground up next week. I like to keep, I like to check in Sunday afternoon. So like Sunday night through Thursday night, I have a dedicated spot where I know I'm going to go because I like to keep a good routine for my job. And so I wake up every day. I don't have much variable. Because even though I work remotely, I have to structure my day. So I wake up a certain time, I start a certain time. If I have to keep a structure. And so that's why I like to have a constant with regards to a campground during the weekdays. It costs money. Again, basically, State Park is going to be $28 a night plus tax. But I like that. And then on the weekends, I'll do free camping. And I could continue doing free camping during the weekday, but I just don't want to move around at this point. At this point in my journey, for 2 years, I pretty much did all free camping. But I paid for it in gas. I paid for it in mileage on my car, wear and tear, everything you pay for in some sense. Tom Hanks. I'm digging this tennis metaphor. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Connor, what's your scariest experience while sleeping in your car? Or your weirdest experience while sleeping in your car? The scariest was when I first started. I did a trip down to Florida, and at the Georgia rest stop, a drunk person came up, either drunk or on drugs, came up to my car at like 2 o'clock in the night and just was started to knock on the window. And I had no window covers. I had nothing set up. I was just starting. It startled me. Because too, somebody comes to your car at 2 o'clock at night, you got no window covers on, and you just realize like you wake up and they're right over you, and you realize how vulnerable you are. But nothing happened. People get their houses broken into every day. Again, statistically, the worst thing you have to worry about is being in the road. Driving is the most dangerous thing in society, not Freddy Krueger coming to your window. But that was probably it. But you're going to probably have your most issues in the beginning, but every day is a crapshoot. But obviously, campsites, you can eliminate some of that. You can never eliminate all of it. But that was it. But overall, it's been, again, 99% positive. Of course, at any time, anything can happen, but overall, it's been no issue. It's like everything else. As long as you move wisely and you're respectful of your environment, you'll be fine for the most part. Daddy Geek. Scroll back, Sammy, and share some thoughts on how you deal with family in the beginning of your journey. Well, how I dealt with family in the beginning of my journey, I didn't tell them. Okay, so I began to come up with this idea in my mind that one, I was going to downsize. That I was just going to buy a smaller condo on the beach in New Jersey. And I started telling some of my family members and friends that. And that was true. But I didn't tell any of them I had my house on the market because I was very scared to put my house on the market because it's a scary thing to do. Especially once you open up that conversation, then you have to tell them, all right, well, once you sell it, what are you going to do? And I didn't know. So I didn't want more pressure on me from other people when I couldn't take it myself. I had to keep myself calm. I had to protect myself, protect my energy, protect my peace, protect my sanity. So the only person I told was a couple people I know, friends. I didn't tell any family members. Sometimes you're better off telling a couple people you know, friends, not family members. And then as I had my house on the market, and I got closer to closing, I was debating, and I started telling my father that, and I only saw him once a year, and I talked to him once a week on the phone. But I started to tell him one time I saw him that I was thinking about possibly either downsizing or maybe even I saw some people like the hippies used to do, like living out of vans and things like that, or RV or car. He goes, "What are you crazy to do that?" He goes, "That's going backwards in life. Why are you gonna do that?" And then I stopped the conversation because I was like, I'm not gonna deal with that. And I didn't want to tell my mom because mom's worried. When I got into a car accident, my head cracked a windshield. I got a scar still here. The night before junior prom, and I went to the hospital. Cracked my head. My face was gushing blood. My whole eyebrow was gone at the time, and they took me to the hospital, and they said, "Well, who do you want us to call? We want to call your mother." I said, "Don't call my mother. I said, I don't want her. I love my mother. I said, but I don't want her coming in here with this nervous energy because I'm scared right now. The nurses wouldn't even let me see a mirror because they said, we don't want you to see a mirror because you may get too upset. I was like, oh shit, what happened to my face? You know what I mean? So the last thing I need was my mom coming in there because she loves me. She's going to be all worried and anxious. So what I learned from that experience was when you're in a tough place mentally to keep your own peace, don't tell too many people because I got to keep myself calm. That's my job as an adult. Okay. And so I was like, I definitely ain't tell my mom. I ain't tell my father because he's a prick. He's very traditional and he can't handle change. He's not a person that adapts to change well. I just told one, maybe two people. I work with a good friend. That was it. And then when I got like 2 weeks away from closing, I still was like in my mind, like, all right, well, I got this. There was a time window, like 2 or 3 weeks before I closed on selling my house. I had a time window that either I'm going to put a bid out on another condo in New Jersey or I'm not. Because if I don't go under contract now to buy a new house, then I'm not going to close in time to not have a lapse in the place to stay. So then I said to myself, I was really searching what I should do. Then I said to myself, well, Sam, look, at that time I was whatever I was, 37 or 36. I said, you're middle age, you're healthy, you're young. When else are you going to have this opportunity to fully live free? So you might as well try it now while you have a good job, while you have your health. This is a time window in your life. And if it doesn't work out, who cares if you spend a couple months, living out of your car, doing whatever. Now's the time to give it a shot. So it's all right. That made sense to me. So then it just clicked. So, but I was still scared to tell anybody because, look, people look at you crazy. So the day I closed on my house, I remember like a feeling of relief knowing that I got through that and that was done. But also, it's a eerie feeling the day you close on your house and then you have nowhere to go after that. Like I had a plan though, but it's just eerie. And like everything, when you first start, it's scary, it's a little bit odd, but then you grow and if you're an adaptive person, you figure it out. And I had a plan. I had already researched, I'd already looked at different things. I kind of knew how I was going to structure my first 2 months, and then I was going to evolve from there. And so once I did it for 2, 3, 4 months, then I started to get a rhythm, okay? And then so like the 5th or 6th month, people started to catch wind of it. And how my father had found out was he had sent a birthday card to my old resident address, my old house, and it got sent back or whatever. So he had called me, and then he said, would you sell your house and move? You didn't tell me? And I was like, well, I didn't tell you because, I didn't want you to get upset. I tried to tell you. And then he just kind of hung up, and then he didn't call me for my birthday. And then I was like, oh, he's playing games. But I still called him the next week because he always had a mandate, try to call him every week. So I still called him and I kept it positive. But then as soon as I called him, he started throwing stuff in my face. So I just said, look, I'm an adult. I'm not asking you for anything. This decision doesn't affect you. If you can't get on board with it, then it just is, I got to go my separate ways. I don't need this in my life. I'm not treating you badly. This is my life. I'm not asking you for anything. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, I'm sorry you sent the card and it got sent back, but come on now. And that was the last conversation I ever had with him because he had then called me back and he left a very spiteful message on my phone. And he said, well, that's it. If you sold your house and you won't talk to me, give me the $5,000 back he had lent me at the time when I was struggling with my house. And I remember I went to pay him back when I was at that time. And he said, no, you don't have to pay me back. You're my son. So I wrote him a check for $5,000. He cashed it the next day. And after that, I changed my phone number and I never talked to him again because I just don't need that type of energy in my space. As an adult, you better be very careful when you have an adult child what you say to them because they don't have to keep you in your life. I know you may think they owe you, but you shouldn't have had a child then. And that's how I handled it. And then my mother found out because she kind of just knew something was different. And so I told her. I said, look, and I said, sold my house. I don't want to buy another condo in New Jersey, I told her at that time. I said, because I don't really want to live in New Jersey. I said, I want to live in Florida. I said, right now my job's in New Jersey because at that time I worked a static job in an office in New Jersey. I didn't have a remote job. I just got a remote job within the past 4 months. And I didn't know, how that was all going to play out. I said, but I know I don't want to buy a house in Jersey because after going through the painful process of selling property and seeing how long and painful it is, why would I want to go through that again if I'm not going to live in the area I want to live long term? I'm not. So I told her I'm going to do this in a transition. And she was just like, and that's why I love my mom. That's why I'm still cool with her. She just said, all right, Sam, it's your life. As long as you're okay and I want you to be very safe, then I understand. And my mom is not a control, she's loving like that. So I appreciate that. And then from there on, we just, keep it moving. So I know that's not easy for a mother, but she was loving and gave me the freedom to be myself. And that's why I still have contact with her, and that's why I don't my father. That's why I'm going back up to New Jersey, and I don't want to fucking. You think I want to go back to New Jersey? Hell no. But I love my mom. I'll go back to see her. So that's the overall story. Susan, hey Sam and company, just waiting out the hurricane before the power goes out. Yeah, sometimes like what they did in New Jersey when Hurricane Sandy came, what the power companies will do, the utility power companies, especially if there's flooding, they will proactively cut off the electrical grid to certain areas to prevent transformers from blowing up. So many times, again, even if the electrical companies can provide power to certain areas, they'll cut it off to protect infrastructure equipment because there's mass flooding, etc. L12FO. Speaking of tennis, what's your opinion about Serena Williams' reaction at the U.S. Open? I don't even know what it is, so I couldn't even give you an informed comment because I don't watch any TV, and like on my YouTube feed, there's nothing about that because I really don't watch anything sports related, so I don't know anything about it to comment. Sorry. Apathy sucks. Hey Sam, do you think that more people are becoming, I don't know what that word means, misanthropes? I don't know what that is. I don't even want to try to act like I do. Because how mentally draining other people can be and life in general. Misanthropes. Yeah, I don't know what that means, brother. What does that mean? A camping nod. What's up, A camping? Best piece of advice for living independently. Good question. That's an interesting question. Good to meet you, brother. Here's a good question. Let me think about that. Best piece of advice for living independently. Great question, actually. You're making me think. Best piece of advice for living independently would be self-care, number one, because guess who you're going to spend the most time with? Yourself. Okay. So if you're not happy with yourself, you're getting ready to be miserable. And if you're miserable, guess what you're going to eventually look for? Someone else to make you happy. When you look for someone else to make you happy, you're double miserable because now you got to deal with yourself and you got to deal with someone else. So what's the number one piece of advice I would give? Self-care, because you're about to spend a lot of time with yourself. And do I like that? Yeah, I like that. I like spending a lot of time with myself. Good job. Connor, would you ever post a before and after picture to see what the difference, please? I did post. I made a video and I posted pictures of me 350 pounds and when I got down to 150. Right now I'm 210. I've been 210 for the past couple years, but I did do a video on that. It's on, I think, my if you go to my channel, my health and well-being playlist, I think it's in there somewhere. Connor says amen. I can't pronounce that, but I believe that's a Russian name. Hey Sam, hello to you. I like the little red emoji, little red person. Is that a Russian dialect? Luke, hey brother, what's your advice? What's your advice? He says, he stays with his mom and stepdad during the hurricane and don't have close relationships with them. I almost feel like she let me stay out of obligation, but not a warm embrace. Well, if you're already there and the storm's coming, you just got to make the most of it and just stay in your separate room. And even when they comment negative or say something negative, just do not reply with negativity because you're already there. You're stuck. If you get sucked into that negativity, you're only going to make your experience worse. But what I would say in the future is, for me, I would rather stay in a homeless shelter than being somewhere with a contentious family member. There's a scripture that says better to be alone in a dark alley than in a house with feasting and fighting. So I would say learn that lesson for the future. You're better off being by yourself and just getting in your car and driving to Tennessee. You'd be better off. But at this point, based on the current conditions and whatever, 24 hours away from a hurricane, just make the most of it. Keep your mouth shut, deal with the pain, and then as soon as that storm passes, get the hell out of there. Never look back. That's what I would say. Sorry, brother, you gotta go through that. And he says, Luke says, I feel down and I wish I had close relationships with them, but we're so different. Now, don't wish that. What, in my opinion, wishing you were close to somebody is nothing but wasted energy. Accept them for who they are and accept yourself for who you are and cut people off appropriately. I accept that certain people I love are just too different than me, and so I cut them off, and I have serious boundaries because I accept myself. Okay, you have to accept that. Not accepting someone is the pathway to resentment into a horrible life. You just got to accept it for what it is. L12FO. Laughed my ass off. Pastor takes a side piece of White Castle. Yeah, on a fire tonight. Yeah, it's true, too. I won't say, but it's true. It's crazy. Got it. It's true. We got to pray for everyone because we all got sins. We all got sins. It's crazy. Connor, at Luke, you can maybe talk to him. Now, don't talk to him. Now, Connor's 20. He don't realize they haven't been through the fight. You can talk to him about over dinner. I don't talk to him about shit, man. He ain't going to change them. Or even try organized day, one day, stuff. Nah, Connor, I love you. I love your lizards, but you're 20. You haven't experienced that in life, and I love you. I respectfully disagree with you because I tell you, I lived through that. Okay, I'm 38. And I lived through a divorce, my parents getting divorced, and I lived through a contentious family member stuff. And what I could tell you is they are who they are, okay? You are who you are, and you can act like, just like I did for my father, you can act like you're going to get along for 10 years, and then all of a sudden you're going to have one conversation, you're going to realize the past 10 years you wasted just being nice to them because they always are the same person you always knew they were. And what I could tell you is you're never going to talk someone out of being them. You're never going to talk someone out of being them, and they're never going to talk you out of being you. You either accept people for who they are or you get the hell out of there. That's your choice. Now, you can choose to stay, but don't try to talk them into being someone different because they're not. Luke, thanks, Connor. Send me prayers, brother. Yeah, don't forget, Connor's a 20-year-old kid that lives at home with his parents with a lizard. So, big difference. Now, Connor, I love you. I made a video for you, but I can't let that go. I can't let that slide. That's like me letting Oprah tell people how to lose weight and she's overweight buying stock in Weight Watchers. I can't let that slide. No way. Not going to happen. Luke, I feel like an outsider with my own family. That's why you're in the wrong place. That's why I tell you now. Get the hell out of there. As soon as that hurricane passes, get in your car. Get the hell out of there. Snow Dog, MILF Magnet, Snow Dog. Me and you on the same page. They all over me, but I'm not going to settle down. Not going to happen. Connor, Luke, at Luke, I sure will. Sure they will understand. Yep, you don't understand yet, Connor. But I appreciate Connor. I appreciate the prayers that you're praying for my brother Luke. Tom, thank you for telling us those stories. Well, no problem, Tom. I got love and respect, especially that car wreck. Oh yeah, that must have been terrifying. You know, it's like everything else. Like I saw it coming. I wasn't driving. My friend was driving, and love and respect to him. He didn't mean it maliciously. He just made a mistake. Mistakes happen. But he was driving, and he was going to make a left, and I was in the passenger seat, and I saw it coming. But I guess he just didn't see the car, or he thought the timing was different, that he had more time. Honest mistake. He's a good guy. And he went to make the turn left, and we hit the car. And I was like, no, I tell you, don't turn. And as soon as I said that, boom, he turned and we hit the car. And I remember my head hit the thing. And then like when my head hit the thing, I just felt wet. It just felt wet, right? So then when I'm like, damn, fucking wet. And then when I put my hand on my face, it was all blood. So I was like, blood was gushing. And and my friend was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Then I just went into shock. Then I ran to my friend's house. I was like, I called the ambulance and everything like that. But these are the things in life. I mean, was I terrified? I mean, it happened so quick. You don't have time to be terrified. But it's a humbling experience, and I thank God that it could have been so much worse. And I'm just thankful. Tom, speaking on your junior prom, though, I bet you were quite the lady killer in high school. It all depends. Like, I have my moments. I was rejected. I've been rejected, but I have my moments. And I graciously had a lot of girls that I vibed with. I wasn't a huge player. There was people that got way more girls than me. But I was decent. I mean, because I was kind of, like, I've always kind of been a personality where, kind of similar to where I am now. And I always got along with, girls. And so I had a few girls that were really good to me and treated me good, even as friends, even if we hooked up. And I respected them and they respected me, and we were cool. It was all love. And I appreciate that. I still look back at some of those times, different things I did, different parties, different truth or dares, different sexual experience, and it was all love, and it still is all love. Like if I see them, well, I won't see them today 'cause I won't see anyone I grew up. That's how I am. People understand. I dodge people. Sometimes I see people I know, not too much more in Florida, even though I know a couple people that live here in Florida. I won't say I love them, and I know they probably watch my live feed sometimes. They say, "Sam, when the fuck you gonna come see me?" I just like to be by myself, but it's all love. Never forget that. It's all love out there. And I appreciate that, but I'm at a different place and I got to be by myself. Data Geek, thank you for sharing your story, Sammy. No problem. L1204 at Luke. I suggest you open up to your mom. Nah, don't do that. L1204. I totally disagree. First, she will truly understand. Nope, she's always going to be her. You're always going to be you. Does she know you feel this way? Doesn't matter. She is who she is. He is who he is. I love L1204. I got love for the Space Coast. But in my opinion, it's my opinion. Do what you want. People are who they are. Your mom is who she is. You are who you are. Your stepdad is who. And if you feel uncomfortable, there ain't no talking about it. You feel uncomfortable for a reason. You guys don't vibe, period. And you can still love your mother. You can still respect her. You can still go to her house occasionally and all that. But guess what you can't do? Spend 48 hours straight in a hurricane with nothing else to do but look at them. Total fucking disaster, in my opinion. Love and respect. DT 2006. Do you think you will make peace with your dad? No, he's done. Once I cut somebody off, they're done. I tried to make peace over the course of 10 years because my parents got divorced at 8. I stopped talking to my father for like 10, 15 years. I tried to make amends. Both of us tried to make amends for 10 years. And then after 10 years, he reverted back to who he was from when I was a child. And it's like, this guy's never going to change. He is who he is. So I'm done. Once I'm done with somebody, I'm done. And I love them. I respect them. And like even when I ended it, I didn't say anything like spiteful. He said some spiteful stuff. That's why I'm done. Like, as an adult, once I cut somebody off, done. And there's no going back. Same thing on YouTube. So if I cut somebody off on YouTube, they have to come back with a different profile name, and I have to know who they are. That's the only way to get back in the channel. Why? Because that's where I'm at this point in my life. So, and that's the way I am. I'm not going to sell my soul, and I'm not going to play the game just for what it is. I have to be me, and that's what it is. Connor, thank you. L1204, no worries. It was out of character for Serena. She flipped out on the umpire and was heavily penalized in the full game and also fined 20,000. Well, we have good and bad days. There's certain. If you put enough pressure on anyone, they'll break, including me, including Job from the Bible. Eventually, he broke and he questioned God. If you put enough pressure on anyone, any of us will break. So just make a mental note of that. But not making excuses for anyone. Dolores, they shut power in 3 cities in I believe that's Massachusetts, right? There were gas line explosions. Last I heard, 50 homes on fire. Thank God my family members are safe. Amen. Praise the Lord. Daddy Geek. I don't have any kids, but I raised my autistic niece. My sister acts like my niece is my child. My parents are elderly and my mom is ill. Hard on me because I work, but I still expected to carry the load. Well, love and respect to you and your family. What I would tell you at this point in your life, because I think you're middle-aged from what I can gather, is it's time for you to start living your own life, in my opinion. Because if not, there's homes for people that have autism and disabilities. You can visit her, but you have to live your life. There's homes for elderly people. There's Social Security. There's reason you can visit them, but you can't work a full-time job, be a full-time caretaker, and live your life. You can't, and that's why you're resentful, and that's why there's something inside you that's not happy. And I don't believe that's what we're supposed to do. Some of the worst caretakers try to be full-time caretakers, full-time job, and they try to live their life, and they're very resentful. You can't, in my opinion, it's not the way to live. In my opinion. Alex, what's up, Alex? Thanks again for the inspiration to live free. No problem. Thank you for listening. I made it 1 week living out of my Cadillac CRX. Good job. Only spent $5 on gas this week. Damn, what'd you do? Just drive around a parking lot? Stay safe in Florida down there. Love and respect to you, Alex. Good luck on your journey, brother. And best wishes to you. Thank you. Daddy Geek. Love my family, but need my life. You do, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just it is tough to pull out. It's hard to get out of commitments. That's why at this point in my life, what I tell you guys is I'm very slow to make any commitments, to buying land, to doing anything, because what I've realized at a middle-aged point in my life, I realized how easy it is to get into commitments, hard it's to get out. Easy for somebody to come live in your house. Guess how hard it is to get them out? Very hard. Okay, very hard. Okay, very hard to get out of a financial obligation. It's very hard to get out of any long-term commitment. And what I could tell you is stay as free as possible. That's what I tell you. Janice did not get the notification. Well, okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and I appreciate you coming in anyway just to check in. Thank you, Janice. Good to have you, Gabby. Hey, Gabby. Speaking truth, my friend. Prayer emoji. Thank you. I'll take a prayer emoji. Thank you. Some people just got to go. Gabby, me and you, same page. Connor's laughing. Good. I get it. It's okay, Connor. Love and respect. Luke. Oh my God, you're a trip. Have me cracking up good. It's good to laugh. What your Connor comment? Well, I love Connor, but I gotta give it to him. But definitely thank you, Connor, for we love Connor. We love him. I made the lizard video. I know you meant well. Yes, Connor did. We got love for Connor. I got love for both of you. Good job. Tom. Looks like some police lights. Yeah. I don't know what happened. There's something over, but they're gone now. I don't know if they pulled somebody over on the street or what they did. But I'm in a nice neighborhood, so I feel totally safe, totally comfortable. And there's plenty of people outside eating here and different things. Connor, thank you, bro. God bless you. Connor, you just watched your weight video. That's crazy, bro. Congrats. Thank you. I appreciate that, Connor. And then Connor put a couple of asterisks. Gabby S. I'm tempted to block a friend. Don't be tempted. Just do it. But at the same time, I feel like telling them off. No, don't do that. Just block and move on with your life. Because if not, you're just going to waste your energy. You got to accept they are who they are. You are who you are. I have a problem with holding on to resentment. You got to let go. If you want good mental health, you got to let go. And then but I appreciate you being honest and sharing this. She says, I have a problem holding on with resentment for not telling someone off before they leave. Should I? No, it's just wasted energy. I would just cut them off, in my opinion. Do what you want. Just cut them off. I know it's hard. Then let go, and then go forward with your life. It's going to take a little while to get past it, but that's what you got to do. L1 to a foe. Respectfully, we don't know Luke details. We don't, but I know me, and I'm sharing me. And what I could tell you is I know a cat when I see a cat. I know a lizard when I see a lizard. Now, love and respect. But for me, in my opinion, this is what I'm giving. Now, I said in my opinion. Now, I got to speak this is my truth. Now, if Luke wants to make a video on like how he had a conversation with his mom and then like it turned out magical for 10 years in a row and he thanks God he had that, then Luke, make a video about that. But on my live feed, when Luke asks me like what should he do, I'm going to tell him, don't take a 20-year-old kid's advice that has a lizard at home living with his parents. Okay, take it now, and don't take my advice, but this is my opinion. Now, L1 to a foe, same thing. Like we don't know your whole story either. No one knows everyone's story, but I'm sharing you my opinion. I got to give you my opinion straight. If I give it to you word down, I might as well have a cat on this channel. I might as well tap dance for you every night. I might as well, edit every video with music. That's not my channel. That's not my life. That's not me. I got to be me. You got to be you. And what I say is cut anyone off who doesn't get you. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Now, sometimes people think, well, Sam, if I support you and I give you positive comments for a year straight, then all of a sudden we have a disagreement. Don't I deserve to stay around? No. If you give me one negative comment, you're gone. Why? Because that's who I am. Some people get that. Some people don't. And that's why a lot of people get blocked. It's okay to disagree. No worries. Yep, we disagreed. But it's peace emoji back to you. HVAC Genius. Now, see, now best friends become strangers. The whole video on that. HVAC Genius. Thumbs up, everyone. And share this video. And thank you. Yes. And I appreciate that. Luke. So what was your routine that you did when you sold your house as far as living out of your car when you were just starting out? Well, the first routine is get your house on the market and sell it immediately if that's what you want to do. Okay, pull out all the permits, get everything ready. Don't wait for your real estate agent to hold your hand and tell you every process. Research it, get going yourself, because that's what you got to do. I did a whole video about how to break that down, but what I can tell you is I didn't do like any test nights, like I'm gonna go camping the test. I didn't do any of that shit. First step is throw everything out. That'll keep you busy for 2 months. Okay, throw everything out, get down to one bag. And then guess what you have to do when you sell your house? The same thing you have to do when you have to learn how to swim. You just got to jump in the water. And then for 2 months, you figure it out. That's it. There's no magic answer. There's no secret. What there is real life. And real life is you prepare by liquidating. You prepare by consolidating, because that's the hardest part. And then when the day of judgment comes, you jump in the water and you learn how to swim. And you figure it out as you go. And that's my experience. Daddy Geek. Thanks, Sam. I totally agree with you and appreciate you more than you know. Well, I appreciate that. Much love and respect. Thumbs up, palm tree, cheers, and kiss blow. Thank you. Down. Do you ever get people coming up to you while you're filming asking you what you do? Very rarely. Because for the most part, like, you know what I mean? I respect common space and I try not to invade other people's space. I don't think anyone's ever asked me what I do as far as like when I was filming. Sometimes people look at you a little bit odd. In the beginning, I would just film anywhere. Now I'm kind of conscious of where I film. But no, nothing crazy. Because nowadays, most people with their cameras, they taking selfies, they taking pictures. I saw a guy on a motorcycle crossing over a bridge today with no helmet on, because I don't think down here it's a law to have a helmet. And he had his phone. On one hand, he was driving his motorcycle, and he was doing like a selfie video for Instagram. So everyone's taking pictures. Alex, you seem very positive in your videos and great advice. Thank you. May I ask how you deal with fear of the unknown or things not working out? Do you approach it with a positive mindset or just driven in? Well, I try to mitigate my risk by having a certain amount of savings financially, because living this lifestyle is a level of risk. So I try to mitigate some of that risk, but then I also just stay focused on what I can control. So I kind of looked at it like, right, liquidate everything. I have certain savings. I kept my job. So I have income. I have savings. So if it doesn't work out, what's the worst that's going to happen? Buy another house, rent an apartment. The upside's still greater, right? So how can, that puts my mind at ease. That's why I don't commit to anything right now, because I have maximum flexibility. As a nomad, your number one asset is flexibility. If things really got bad, you can move to any state to get a job. If a hurricane's coming, guess what? Start your car and leave. You don't have to stay at your contentious family member's house. You're fucking out of there. That's a win. Okay? If you're single, this lifestyle, in my opinion, and you want it, has more pros than cons. If you do it right, you keep a job, you do different things. Now, if you don't have a job, I think that's going to be your biggest deterrent. Or if you don't have a source of income, I should say. Because then, you need income to move. Then you might as well stay in the house because you're static. I don't know how you spend $5 a month in gas or $5 a week. You must have just did nothing. It's crazy. But that's my opinion. That's my experience. And that's my reply. Love and respect, Alex. L12FO. You are right. We are here to observe and listen to your opinions. All good. No, I mean, it didn't come in too negative, and I'm not saying you have to bow down to Sammy. But I'm sharing with you. I'm being honest with you. I don't want to. I can't. L12FO. I love you. I respect you. Don't take it like that. I know it felt like a shot. And I'm not saying that my opinions are above anyone's opinions. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying take my advice. I'm saying this is my opinion, and I have to give it. And I have to give it straight, or else there's no sense of me having a channel saying be you. Then I might as well be somebody else, because that's not me. This is who I am. And some people can accept that. Some people try to change me. What do I do to them? I cut them off, because I'm not changing. I know who I am, and I don't hurt people, treat people right. But that doesn't mean that my personality is for everyone. Some people should cut me off if they don't like me, and some people have. I've cut more people. Some people have, and I've cut off a lot of people too. And I could cut you off. You can cut me off. And neither one of us can be right or wrong. It's just that we're different and we want to go our separate ways. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're better off that than staying at someone's house trying to change them and have a conversation about, can you understand me? Can I understand you? Next thing I'm going to hear is you want to go on date night to try to save your marriage. What happens at date night? Nothing else. You might as well get ready for the divorce. Date night to me is a prelude to a divorce. Because you're trying to... now I'm getting down a different route. I got love for everyone. Luke, I've never been married. Luke, I enjoy everyone positive comments here. And thanks for caring. Prayer emoji. It means a lot. Love and respect. That geek. Get some water, bro, because you're on a roll tonight. Oh, good. Thank you. It's crazy. Luke, it's hard to move on, but I see your thoughts, Sam. Because I have tried. Yep, I know. I'm a prophet. I got prophesied that I'm a prophet. I'm not perfect. I'm a human. All right, here we go. Because I've tried too long gaining the love and approval of my family. Yep. That shows no true care to who I am. And to be fair, they may love you. They may care for you. But that's just who they are. That's just who they, that's who they are. And so it's not a judgment on them. It's just that you guys are different. And so, yeah, I hear you, Connor. I appreciate it when you explain things, because then I'm too learning. Well, I appreciate that, Connor. I appreciate you laughing. Good job. L12FO. Luke, as a mom, I truly wish you future love and comfort your family. Laugh out loud. I'm not bowing down to Sammy. We're still cool. Good. All right. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Alex, thanks again for the answer. Love and respect. Right now, everything is within walking distance of my current job. Target, free Wi-Fi, food, gymmer. Well, I'm not mad at you. If you got it made and you're doing you and you're happy, thumbs up emoji to you because I want to see people happy and I want to see them doing you. Good job, Alex. Janice, Luke, you and me both. Love and respect. Oh, Janice, you dealing with the miserable people too? I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know. Well, guys and girls and everyone, thank you. Okay, thank you to everyone, and I got love for everyone. I really do. I just am who I am. I want you to be who you are, and I just want everyone to be in a good space. Do what you need to do for you, and we have to go forward. Luke, thanks, brother. Thank you. And you could have good and bad days. And if you stay around people that don't get you, you could have more bad days than good days. That's what I've learned in life. So what I want to do is I want to have more good days than bad days. And because what I found is one conversation with the wrong person can cause you to have a bad day. And that's why I have love for everyone, but I have a limited inner circle. I'm not saying my way is the right way for everyone. I'm self-expressing my journey and who I am. And I'm telling you to self-express your journey and be who you are. Because that's the only way you're not going to live in resentment. If you live in resentment and you have bad days, you're gonna wish you were never born. You're gonna curse the day your mother had you. Have I been there? Yeah, I've been there. L12FO says he's a mother. Let me tell you something. As loving as my mom is, I've had bad days. I wish my mom never had me. That's the truth. People don't want to hear the truth. But that's the truth. Okay? Mothers just want to, but that's the truth. Okay? And so, got to protect your well-being. Okay? You got to take care of yourself. And you got to push forward. Peace and love.